Welcome, Sagittarius and Sagittarius cross watchers, to your reading for this week. So it's going to be about what you need to know right now. So it's kind of there isn't a specific intention or a specific topic. So I hope you guys have had a wonderful week and that your weekend is shaping up to be a good one. For heaven's sake. Okay. So we're going to do it a little bit differently. Usually I wait for jumpers, but we're going to do the Celtic cross or Celtic cross. I can never remember which way to say it. I apologize if that's wrong. So that's the problem, or sorry, the issue, the problem, what's on your mind, what's supporting you, recent past, near future, how you see yourself. You can't see that. 1 second. Sorry, Aries. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to move these down. Just want to make sure you can see everything. So, oh, my apologies. So it's how you see yourself, how others see you, your hopes and fears, and then the, kind of what you can expect, the likely outcome. And then, of course, we have the Knight of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So, Sag, I mean, it's clear that it's about love, right? Sag, I feel like the problem, or like what is kind of going on with you right now, it's almost like you might not like me, okay? By the time this reading is over, I'm going to just say that. From what I'm seeing, you have a certain idea about love and you want love, but the way that it's trying to come in is not something, it's almost like you keep kind of being sent these kind of new loves, and this is you, and you're kind of like, no, that's not what I want. And it's almost like you have this kind of vision in your mind of what you want it to be. And I feel like you're holding true to it. And it's almost like, this is usually counterintuitive. I know it's not what, what people generally say, but it actually feels like because you're holding so firmly to like, excuse me, this is what I'm having. It's almost that energy of like, well, then fine, it's on its way kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's almost like you've been so persistent and consistent in saying like, no, this is what I want, that it's almost like the universe is like, oh, fine, just give Sagittarius what they're asking for. It's a very peculiar energy for me as a reader, if I'm being totally honest. So what's on your mind? We have the Justice, or this would be the Libra card. I feel like with this one, just with respect to this sort of issue, I feel like you've really been put through the ringer. And I feel like it's almost like you feel that in the recent past year, that there were some expectations that were put on you that you normally wouldn't rise to those. You know what I mean? And it's not that you couldn't or you weren't capable of doing it, but it's like you just may have not seen the point before, or just wasn't like, oh, I'm just not going to do that. It's almost like it seemed like a unreasonable or possibly very boring task. But I feel like you kind of ate it and you did it. You know what I mean? It's like whatever it was that you did not want to do, you did. And I feel like there's this element of like, I've put in my time, I've put in the energy, I've done, it's like you feel like you've made a lot of changes, and you're not going to sit here and accept something that would be a better match to the old you than the current you. And I feel with this Knight of Pentacles, I'm just kind of feeling like there's someone in your past that is still waiting for you to come back. I feel like there's somebody back there that it's like I'm going to be honest, they seem pretty angry with you. They seem to feel like you, like, how dare you leave me kind of deal. It's almost like they may dress in the exact way that you want. They may have, or at least they think they have everything that you want. Um, but they seem to be somebody that is actually kind of controlling. It feels like they are a little bit, like, almost like the embodiment of that, like, harumph energy, right? It's like they feel like they should get their way, and if they don't get their way, they're not going to do anything. And I understand that that may sound similar to this sort of thing, but it's how you're saying, like, I'm not going to accept this person or that person or this situation or that situation, but it's not. This person is doing it expecting, um, it's almost like they're just going to stay where they are and they're just going to expect it to come to them. However, I don't feel that that's what you're doing, right? You're still kind of like, this is kind of how it feels. For example, may not be the actual situation, okay? So please take it to what area of your life it resonates with. But let's say, for example, you are single and there have been a lot of people that have been interested in you, but it's like you've been manifesting the person that you want. And as people kind of come in, it's kind of like, well, this person came in, but like, you know what? It's almost like something that you didn't know you didn't want wasn't on your radar until you met that person. And you're like, oh, you know what? I don't think I want to deal with that in somebody else. And it's kind of like you push them to the side, and it's like you're slowly refining your vision for that person. I feel like you're just kind of looking at the universe like, can we get on with this, please? I'm going to be honest. I feel like this person keeps trying to stick their nose in your business. I feel like they keep trying to enter your energy. And I feel like it's almost like Gandalf standing here like, no, you shall not pass. And I feel like to a certain extent they have accepted that they're not going to get back in, but they're still mad about it. You know what I mean? It's like if somebody brought up your name, they'd like do the eye roll or something equally ridiculous. So what's supporting you? Like, dun 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 dun. So we have the Wheel of Fortune, right? That's things. I hesitate to say it's things turning in your favor because the Wheel of Fortune can mean the wheel is turning and it's going to turn whatever way you've pushed it. You know what I mean? So it's like, going back to this Libra card, these scales of justice here, it's like whatever you have kind of put time into. So if you've put energy into improving yourself and working on yourself that you clearly have been doing, it's like this kind of devil nonsense is going to kind of exit, right? If you had been not doing anything, then that's kind of on its way up, right? So I feel like there's something about the frustration that you're feeling that may bring in somebody that is a little bit colder initially than you'd like. It's almost like it seems to be hard to make a connection with them, because you're bringing in a match to your energy, right? Rather than what it is that you're envisioning, if that makes sense. I hope so. So I feel like there's this message that it's like the people that you've been bringing in, the reason you, again, please use it as an analogy if it's not the exact situation. It's like the reason that you keep pushing back on these people or back on these options is because it's like you're slowly weeding out what you don't want. It's almost like you had a garden that was covered in weeds, right? And you pulled out all the big guys, and now it's all the little piddly ones that you got to go in and be like, oh, this is just so tedious. And I feel like that's where you are, right? And it feels like because you've done so much of the big stuff, this little stuff seems so inconsequential. So you're kind of like, ugh, what's taking so long? It doesn't feel like you're that impatient, I'm going to be honest. It just feels more like it almost feels like some of you may be getting to a place where you're feeling like, well, is this even coming? Let's get into that. So, what's coming up in the near future for you? We have the Three of Pentacles, and that often talks about working together. So I feel like there's someone that's going to come in it's going to feel initially to you like this is a total waste of time. What am I doing? Why is this person here? It's almost that energy of like, I have to get home, and let's say, for example, let's say you have, a dog, okay? Just to kind of illustrate the energy. It's almost like, that if you don't get home soon, your dog needs to be let out. And if they're not let out, then like your carpet's going to take a hit, or the floor is going to take a hit or something, right? And it's like, and this person, it's almost like one of those really chatty customers. If you've ever worked in customer service, and like they're being perfectly nice and you wouldn't mind interacting with them normally, but this time it's like, I gotta go or I'm gonna miss the bus. So it's kind of that sort of energy. So like you're being nice and you're smiling and that sort of thing, but you're kind of wanting things to like, whatever it is, it feels pointless, but it's not. There's something that they say in that conversation that you are thinking about on the way home, that it's like there's this light bulb moment. You're like, oh my gosh. And it really does feel like it's almost like it seems to be almost like you're starting to see like a spark of light at the end of the tunnel with what they said. It almost feels like it's a sign that whatever it is that you've been waiting for is coming in. So how do you see yourself? Like, listen, how you see yourself is the Magician, which, I mean, based off of the reading so far, that certainly seems to be true. However, I feel like people see you as someone that's like a hop, skip, and a jump further than the Magician. I feel like people see you as having already manifested things, right? So it's like whatever it is that you are doing, if it does feel right now, Sag, that it's like you are kind of in your element, almost like you are, I almost want to say like, it's a little bit of like a kicking butt and taking names energy, but it's more like you're kind of able to bring into your life exactly what it is that you're looking for. I feel like there may be some things that you are unaware that you're bringing in. It's almost like some of your behaviors may not match what you are saying that you actually want, and that might be why there's a bit of a disparity. For example, hold on. Okay. Let's say, for example, that you were looking to lose weight. I'm not saying that you should or you need to, okay? It's just how I'm kind of relating to the energy, right? I would like to lose a little bit of weight, but I'm going to have to start making some better choices if I want that to be something that happens, right? And I feel like there seems to be something here where it's almost like there's some things that you're not quite ready to accept into your life just yet. At least from your perspective. From everyone else's perspective, it actually feels like you have exceeded their expectations of what you were capable of in the first place. And it's almost like to you, like you haven't even scratched the surface. So, and I mean, maybe this is just me being kind of a bit of a weirdo, but like I would love to be a fly on the wall to kind of see you move along the path and see people's reactions to you, not only exceeding their expectations, but it's kind of like you're going to blow them out of the water. So, hopes and fears and the probable outcome. Okay, so we'll do it a little bit separately. We have the Nine of Cups here. Sag, what I'm kind of getting is I feel like you might be in an energy where you're concerned that the reason things aren't coming in the way that you want them to necessarily is because you're kind of stuck in some sort of loop. And I almost want to say like you are, but not in the same context that you're thinking. It's not that you're stuck in the same loop and just doing the same thing over and over again. It feels like you're using the same skills to remove different things. So kind of going back to that garden analogy where it's like you've removed all the big dead plants and weeds and stuff and you're just picking out the little bits, right? And it's like you're using the same approach to remove those things, but you are removing different things. That's why it might feel like it's a bit repetitive. If you're feeling really tired, if you're feeling physically exhausted and kind of like, what the heck is going on? Why is this here? Like, for example, let's say you got a good night's sleep and it feels like the kind of tired that it doesn't matter how much you sleep. It doesn't matter how well you eat. It doesn't matter this. It doesn't matter that. It actually feels like it's because it's almost like you're emptying something out. And I feel like it is a lot more exhausting than you might realize. It feels like it's also maybe mentally taxing for you. Last but certainly not least, the possible or probable outcome based on the energy right now. Don't be mad. So the Three of Wands is a card of waiting for your ships to come in. And I feel like there's this message here. I'm kind of getting like the end game. Or, hold on. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like yellow and black checkered. I think it's like, I want to say like car racing, like NASCAR or something. It's the last race thing. Anyway. Or Formula One or something like that. Anyway. Sag. I feel like with this card, you actually seem to come to a place where whatever it is that you are waiting for, there doesn't seem to be any heaviness related to the wait, if that makes sense. And wait like time wait, okay? Because I feel like at the beginning of the read here, you're kind of like, this is just tedious and why am I? And it's almost like you're going to get to a place where the time that you spend kind of waiting for your ships to come in, not that you're sitting around twiddling your thumbs, right? But it's almost like you enjoy the wait. You know what I mean? There's something that it's almost like you enjoy not knowing what it's going to look like until it gets there. It just feels like there's something that's really comforting about being in that waiting spot, in that waiting place. And I feel like whatever was kind of stressing you out or weighing you down or was just kind of like this heavy energy that brought this, I don't know if you can see the look on their face, whatever. It's almost like the old you would be glaring at the new, like kind of up and coming you, or the future you, almost kind of wondering like, why are you not, like, why are you over there enjoying this? This sucks. And I feel like the new you would be like, oh, because I get it now. I'm also noticing this, there's something about this person's arm here. It just kind of feels like there seems to be something that you were vulnerable to before, but you have adopted some sort of truth that you're able to use as armor, right? It's almost like this blue sword here has kind of, you've morphed it into some armor here. And I feel like that seems to be why you're able to, it's almost like that's why you're able to extend yourself. It's like you found a way to protect, hold on. It's almost like you found a way to extend yourself to things that you want to, while also remaining impervious to, to that risk destroying you. You know what I mean? It's almost like, again, this is just how I'm kind of seeing it, so please take it as it resonates. It's almost the energy of somebody that's very wealthy, and they put down, like some money in the stocks, but it's money that they can afford to lose, right? And so it's like, it's almost like it's just for fun. It's just for shiz and gigs sort of thing. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm not really saying it doesn't really. I hope that it makes sense because sometimes I say things and they kind of don't make sense to me. Um, it just feels like whatever it is, the old you would look at the new you and almost be resentful because of the sanctity, like the inner peace that you have with just letting life be what it is. So I think I'll leave it there. I almost said Aquarius, so I'm not sure what that's about, but I just wanted to say that. I think I'll leave it there. Sagittarius. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. I will, of course, have the words. Okay. I will, of course, have the mini weekly love readings coming out on Sunday. And then, of course,